All right, guys, this devotional reads, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. I am not a locked barrier, but an open door for you. For all my chosen followers, I came into the world so that you may have life and have it to the full. A full life means different things for different people. So, in your quest to live abundantly, don't compare your circumstances with those of others. You don't need as much money or as many luxuries as your neighbor in order to live well. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I want you to be satisfied with my provision for you. If you have food and clothing, the basic necessities of life, seek to be content with that. Y'all, it's a chapter in is it Philippians chapter 4. Before you get to there, right before Philippians 4, 6, and 7, 19, you have the part where it reads, I wish I had my Bible down here with me. But you have the part where it reads, he said, I know what it is to have, and I know what it is to be in want, but I've learned to be content in all things. Paul said that in Philippians. So I would suggest that you guys, when you listening to this devotional, go read Philippians chapter 4, because God taught me that a long time. Now, am I there yet? No. In this aspect, I kind of don't want to talk this because I'm going to talk about this in my next live. When I felt like when I was by myself, I felt like I was super healed, and I felt like I was healed because I was content with self. I wasn't in a position to be triggered by certain things. Because I was by myself, I felt confident. I wasn't comparing myself. I was really in my own little world. And I feel like now that I am in a relationship, I find myself being triggered, and I find myself sometimes comparing. And I've learned that, I didn't have that before because it was just me. And so now I find myself working through triggers, and things that I thought healed are coming back up. And so I find myself having to deal with that spirit of comparison. I find myself dealing with triggers. And I know it's all a part of my growth, but these are things that I'm learning. How to be content in a relationship, how to go from an anxious attachment to a secure attachment, but doing that with God. Like every time I get triggered, I run to God about it. Because I don't want to go off my own strength. Because sometimes I go off my own strength. One, I'll run, or two, I'll be very impulsive, and I'm not in that space anymore. So I always run to God to ask Him to show me, basically show me the way. Like, is this something that I need to, I asked Him to show me how to communicate. I asked Him to show me myself. I asked Him to show me what's truly going on. Like, give me discernment. I asked all those things. And it's been like a bunch of growth and learning curves on my end, but I can see how much I'm growing and maturing into this versus letting triggers run or rule my life, if that makes sense. So we're going to continue on. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I want you to be satisfied with my provision for you. If you have food and clothing, the basic necessities of life, seek to be content with that. If I give you more, respond with joy and thankfulness. But don't cling to what you have or covet things you do not have. The only thing you can cling to without harming your soul is me. No matter what you possess in the world, remember, little or much plus me equals everything. And that is so true, y'all. I feel like this right here, this devotion right here, I learned this when I kind of like my contract ended with my job, and I had to move back home. And I'm telling y'all, I gave away designer bags. I got to a place where a lot of people told me I shouldn't have given it away, but for me it was more so of like I didn't want to be defined by those things. I wanted to see my value without those things. And I was basically in a season of being humbled or humbling myself, and just like I had gotten to a place where I wasn't me anymore, and I really needed to find myself again, and I needed to find myself without things. Because my work was defined around my success. My work was defined about how much I have gained. And I was trying to prove myself. And I didn't want to be in that place no more. So, I went through that humiliation or shame or whatever, or of not having anything and things like that. But it taught me to be content in what I had. And looking back now, like I said, like the last devotional, it said, find God in everything, even in the dark spaces. Even though it seemed like that was a dark space, in hindsight, looking back now, like I had everything I need. I had food. I had all my basic needs. And in that time, I was in therapy. I had got therapy for free through military. And in that time, that was one thing she taught me. It wasn't Maslow's hierarchy. It was the pyramid or whatever it was that she had me do when I went through CBT. And she basically showed me that I had all that I need. But for me, because I didn't have a job, and I can't say I didn't have a job because I was still doing hair. So yes, I did have a source of income, you know. So, but she showed me like I still had a place to stay. I still had transportation. I had food, water, shelter. I had everything that I needed. But it was only because I was caring about what others think, or I was comparing myself to others. Like, you know, sometimes you get on social media and you see other people living their life, going on vacation, and I wasn't in a position to do that at the time. So I felt like a failure for a moment. But then, you know, when you start letting God build you up, when you turn your focus to God, because at that time I told y'all I had nothing but time. So I was in my Bible a lot, and so I wasn't on social. I ain't had no service or no TV, no internet. So I literally just had it was just me, my Bible, and nature. And like I said, those times, that's why I said, I really had to get myself to a space where I have to be grateful for where I'm at now, because where I was before, God fully restored me. And even though I'm not where I'm supposed to, even though I'm not where I was, I have everything I need, and I actually have more quality, if that makes sense. And on top of that as well, like, I have strategy to get back to where I was, but better, but in a better place and a better version of me. Because if I would have really got it back then, I wasn't humble anymore. I wasn't myself. So I'm thankful for those moments, because God brought me back to me, and it was a lot of self-discovery, things about myself that I didn't know I recognized, and I became emotionally available. And it's like now I am still learning my emotions, but I understand emotions at this point now, if that makes sense. So I'm grateful for those moments. I really am. But just saying, like, I learned a big lesson in that time frame of comparison, and I'm thankful for that devotional this morning too, because now I'm doing comparison in a different area, and I realize that it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because God has blessed me tremendously, and me, God is all you need at the end of the day. So, guys, you know, I'm gonna listen to my affirmations while I work, and then the walk with the weighted vest, y'all, is so helpful when you are trying to lose weight. You guys, I just read the devotional, and oh my God, I'm so excited about it, because this devotional is what's needed. It's something I'm going through right now. And when I tell you this devotional, like when I say perfect timing, I mean perfect timing. So I'm gonna read it. Look for me in the hard places of your life. It's easy to find me in answered prayer, in beauty and heartfelt joy, but I am also tenderly present in difficulties. In fact, your problems are fertile soil for growing in grace and encountering my loving presence in greater depth and breadth. So search for me in dark times, both past and present. If you're plagued by painful memories and hurtful past experiences, look for me in them. I know all about them, and I am ready to meet you there. Invite me into those broken places and cooperate with me in putting the fragments back together in new ways. If you are walking through tough times in the present, remember to cling to my hand. Against the dark backdrop of adversity, the light of my presence shines in transcendent radiance. This light blesses you abundantly, providing both comfort and guidance. I will show you the way forward step by step. As you walk close to me, I will draw you into deeper, richer intimacy with me. In the scriptures, Psalms 139, 11-12. If I say, surely the darkness will overwhelm me, and the light around me will be night. Even the darkness is not dark to you. And the night is the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you. And the light shines on in the darkness, for the darkness has never overpowered it. But put it out or absorbed it or appropriated it and is unreceptive to it. And that's John 1:5. Psalm 73, 23-24. Yet I am always with you. You hold me by your right. Yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into glory. Y'all, I just think of this sometimes in response to like triggers. When we're triggered, I have been learning to run to God. Sometimes when you're triggered, you're so much in that chaos or in that space that you don't think to immediately pray. And one thing I'm trying to do is be more self-aware of when I'm triggered, so I can like surrender what I'm feeling over to God. And that's when, and invite him into those spaces, invite him into those times, because y'all I won't lie to you guys, an area that I am really working on, and it has been a weakness of mine for a very long time, and it's like social skills and relationships. Whether it's a ship I'm in, or friendships, or any kind of ships. I've told you guys that before. That is a weak area for me. I just sometimes don't know how to navigate people. I'm still struggling in the area of speaking up for myself and how I feel. And it's not that I have a problem with speaking up for myself. I have a problem. I Sometimes there's a delay in me understanding and processing how I feel, so that I can speak up or or deliver how I'm feeling. And then on top of that, like I said, sometimes I don't understand when I don't recognize sometimes when something bothers me or I'm being disrespected. Like sometimes that's something I'm not aware of. Like if I go to talk to someone else, they'll be like, "That was so disrespectful," and for me, I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't realize that I was being disrespected." So those are things that I am working on, and those are things that I'm asking God, that is an area that I am asking God to help me in. Okay, so that was today's devotional. Okay, guys, and then the rest of my Memorial Day weekend was a lot of fun. Played some udon with friends. Definitely cleaned the entire house. Yeah, cleaned, deep clean. And then rode around town. My boyfriend got his new convertible. And we walked around Noda area, just run the streets. Got some ice cream. And then, of course, you guys know I have to end it with a good bit of self-care. So I did a face mask. It's the face mask I showed you guys in, I think it was the last video, that I got from Sephora. I highly recommend it. It feels amazing. And then ended it with listening to my affirmations and saying a prayer before just ending my night and going to bed to start my week.